Assalamualaikum. Continuing with the topic of autopsy, this is lecture number 17. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. We're discussing the autopsy on decomposed, mutilated bodies, fragmentary remains, or skeletal remains. In this lecture, we'll discuss the protocol of examination of such situations. And the learning objective of this lecture will be that we'll try to establish. First, we'll try to establish the source of the material provided. Then we will establish the body parts belong to same individual, that there is not commingling. If there is mass disaster, there is mixing of body parts, which is commingling, and we have to conform each body part into one body. Then identity. All the parameters of identification will be applied regarding age, sex, race, from the bone, from the teeth, hair, nail, everything is examined regarding identity. Then the cause of death has to be established and the time since death. So these will be the learning objective. So the protocol of examination remains the same as for the autopsy with a little different scheme. First, we have to establish the source. The fragments of the body or the skeleton or a single bone presented will be examined to establish the source, whether it is human or some other object, maybe animal or maybe some object. So the knowledge of anatomy and morphology help us in examination of the source. In case of doubt about the origin, the soft tissue in dried form should be sent without addition of any preservative, and human specific immunological test should be done, and it will settle the issue. The addition of preservative, likely alcohol, formalin, mercury chloride, will interfere with the precipitin test. The anti-globulin inhibition test is more sensitive than the precipitin test, but it is highly technical. Then the whether parts belong to the same individual. This is the next issue, whether all the presented parts belong to the same individual, and this usually arise in mass disasters. And for this objective, reconstruction of the body is done, whether different parts can be fitted together or not. They can be fitted together and there is no disparity or duplication. Testing of the similarity of blood groups and hemoglobin from different parts is suggested. If it is not possible, then at least try to reconstruct different portions of the body which conform with each other. If there is duplication of body part, that means two right hands, two same side of the feet, then obviously this cannot belong to one individual. Now, the next most important objective is identity. And we have to establish the age. All the parameters from head to toe should be applied. From hair, from teeth, from primary and secondary dentition, depending upon the age. Then age of the incremental lines. Gustafsson methods, and from the bones, we will try to establish the age. The fusion of epiphysis with the diaphysis, the closure of the sutures in the skull, they help in determination of age. Then the lower jaw in the bones help very much for age determination. The calcification of the laryngeal cartilages or the sternal cartilages and hyoid bone as they are after the age of 40. Then sacrum, the pieces of sacrum, they unite together, they help. Then the cranial sutures. In older age, they are the most important parameter regarding determining age. Then pubic symphysis, pubic bone, the symphysial surfaces help in determination of bone. Then changes in joints, older age changes, they also help in establishing the age. Color of the hair of the scalp, beard, mustache, and pubes also help. Now, regarding sex, the organs which are last to putrefy, like prostate in males, ovaries, and non-gravid uterus in females. And in their absence, the nature and the character of the soft parts and the configuration of the pelvis is great help. Then from the bones, the sex can be determined. The pelvis, skull, mandible, and sacrum are the most important bones regarding sex determination. Then nuclear sexing can be done, in which in females we look for the Barr bodies in non-dividing cells, Davidson bodies in the leukocytes, and in males, if hair are available, the sexing from the root sheath cells of a capital hair will demonstrate the presence of Y chromosome, and this will confirm being male. Then the race can be determined from the skull, pelvis, and mandible. Hair also gives important information in this regard. The morphological examination of the will help. Then certain indices, the phallic index, the cranial index, the sacral index also help. The nasal bridge height, nasal aperture shape, facial prognathism, palate shape, and incisors, they help in establishing the race. Then stature. This can be done even from the parts of the body. Stature will depend upon the length from the tip of middle finger to the tip of the middle finger of the opposite arm when fully extended. Symphysis pubis normally form the center from 20th to 25th year. So this stature will be twice the length from vertex to pube and from heel to pubes. The length of one arm and multiplied by 2 and add 30 centimeter for the clavicle and 4 centimeter for the sternum. And if only the bones are available, then we can apply certain formulae on long bones. The multiplication factor has been developed by studying various population, and they will help in determination of the stature. So determination of the length of the bone and multiply with the multiplication factor, we can assess the stature of the individual. Then certain acquired feature or congenital abnormalities, they help of a particular individual. Like the fingerprints, the dental stature, the personal property of the articles, the clothes, the belongings in the close vicinity will help. Then certain congenital features like moles or special characteristics to a particular individual help. Then congenital abnormalities or deformities or various other abnormalities, they help. Then there are certain acquired features, tattoo marks, piercing of ears, condition of the palm, scars, deformities, amputation, and marks and scars. Then evidence of any disease. Some person may be suffering from some disease, and those marks can help in finding the identity. Like gallstone, this uterine fibroid, appendectomy mark, so they help. Then determination of blood group antigens, A, B, H, from the tooth pulp will help in establishing the identity. Selected X-ray like the dental X-ray, skull X-ray, or other X-rays which were done if during life can help taking those X-rays which when can compare with superimposition and confirm. Then neutron activation analysis can give valuable information when comparison samples are available. Neutron activation analysis, a nuclear process used for determination of the concentration of elements in vast amount. And this test has been important in forensic science that the minute amount of certain trace elements can serve as quite characteristic in identity. Then regarding the cause of death, this is quite difficult to determine. But it is possible when there is some evidence indicative of some antemortem violence as injury to some part of the organ or vessel, or sometimes a hard metal like bullet can be recovered from the body. As mutilated fragments putrefy quickly, so the antemortem in nature of the injury will disappear. Then the clues like depressed fracture of the skull, fracture of hide bone, fracture dislocation of cervical vertebra, cutting injuries on bone, and fracture of multiple ribs gives an important clue about the cause of death. Then time since death. The probable time since death can be determined from the postmortem changes which are appearing in the soft tissues in the fresh bodies, like the postmortem staining, rigor mortis. So they help in determining the time since death. If the putrefaction has started, then the decomposition changes and the stages will help in estimation of time since death. So summary of this lecture is that in this mutilated remain, first we will establish the source. Then if commingling is there, we'll conform into different bodies separately. Then identify all the parameters of identification will be applied. Then the cause of death will be determined. Then the time since death from various changes after death will be determined. Thank you very much. Take care and Allah Hafiz. Hello, Assalamu alaikum viewers. This is my channel name, Dr. Javed Iqbal Khokar, lectures on forensic medicine. If you like my videos, subscribe my channel, share it, and press the bell button. Thank you very much.